out to Pacheco. Sidesteps a tackle. Cuts 15, 10, 5. Freaking touchdown, dude. Blown up. Fumble. Pitch back to Brian Cook. And Brian Cook's going to freaking house it, dude. He's going to house it. Oh, my God. He's got plenty of time. Fires. Back in the end zone. Touchdown. Bro, what the frick did I just watch? And this is why you don't doubt Patrick Mahomes. He's going to waltz in. Untouched. Touchdown. Kansas City, let's go, baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Kylie and Cole episode numero 10. Number 10.
Dang.
Dude, I
That's
spaced
crazy.
for a second. I was like, please know the number 10 in Spanish, even though I haven't taken Spanish in a long, long time. But you should know 1 through 10. We should at least know that. Anyway, I'm Cole. This is Kylie. No, other way. Everybody probably knows that.
Hi.
We're here to talk about a bunch of different things today, but we're first going to talk about what we're drinking, because we're doing a pre-Thanksgiving cheers right now. Mine's simple. Everybody is not going to be surprised. I'm drinking a Tank 7 by Boulevard, an American Saison, 8.5%, 45 IBUs. It's pretty freaking good. But Kylie's got something more what would we call it? More holiday-ish or more festive. That's what she got.
It's definitely festive. I'm drinking, so I don't think I know what a toddy is, but I've coined this the spiked apple toddy. So it's got a little tequila and apple cider and some cinnamon and agave nectar and some little apple slices in there, which at the end of this drink are really potent, but really fun to enjoy. So yeah, definitely a festive drink. Definitely something. It's a little colder out right now, so it warms the lungs. And cheers. Cheers.
Oh yeah, cheers. Clink. We can't clink it,
Through
but
the screen.
Close enough.
You
I
get
was
the idea.
just prepping our giveaway comment that I'm pinning to the top of the chat right now. Another thing we're doing, guys, I want to let you know this right off the top. We're giving away something as a little holiday gift to the HBTC community. We're going to give away a signed Isaiah Pacheco helmet. So this was signed by Pacheco. This is something that was received through Chiefs bids. Obviously, there's his number. There's his name. Full-size helmet. Going to give this away to somebody who comments on this video that says, how bad are the Chiefs wide receivers? Actually, it's got the thumbnail that says, how bad is it? You got to comment on this video. Hashtag catch the ball. Okay? Hashtag catch the ball. It can be all lowercase, all caps. Doesn't matter. And at the end of the show, we're going to do a quick giveaway. And one of you guys in here is going to be able to win it. You got to be in here at the end or around, because I need to get your info and follow up with you after. But I'll definitely ship that out to you if you live in America. The last person that won something, they were in Brazil, and it was going to be like $230 to ship it. I can't do that. But if you live in like USA, Canada, awesome. We'll get it to you. I would love to do it wherever, worldwide, even the moon. But dude, shipping, I mean, they're trying to get you. It left me shook. I'm not going to lie. When I saw it was like $230 to ship to Brazil, I almost cried. So
Oh my gosh.
anyway, chance to win a helmet. And here we are. Sean Peterson right off the jump with 5 gifted. Appreciate that, man. Let's go, dude.
Fun. Also, what an amazing helmet. I love the white helmet. That's very cool.
Yeah, I know.
You don't
They'll
see
never
many
do
of
an
those.
alt helmet. They'll never do an alt helmet like this, but it's so dope. I love it,
Yeah.
dude. They'll
It's
never
sick.
do one,
But-
but it's sick.
No. They're traditional. They like the classic look, which is fine. I respect
Yeah.
that.
All right, before we get into everything that we're covering, we're going to talk Chiefs Eagles. We're going to talk Dick Sirianni yelling at Chiefs fans. We're going to talk Travis Kelce eating alone and KFC probably shipping him food. And then we're going to talk Chiefs Raiders, because it's Raiders week, and or Raider week, I guess is how you would technically say it. And yeah, we're going to kind of talk thoughts around that as well. And then we hope you guys have a happy freaking Thanksgiving. So real quick, Kylie, What are your Thanksgiving plans? Then you need to give me 3 players you're thankful for on the Chiefs. Offense, defense, and special teams. And I'm really tempted to say you have to pick a receiver on offense, but just because we're trying to keep optimistic about the wide receiver room. But let me know, and then we'll go into thankful mode.
All right. So for Thanksgiving, we're going to my in-laws. So we'll go around, I don't know, probably early afternoon, enjoy lots of food, and watch lots of football. So nothing too crazy. It's supposed to be kind of nice tomorrow, which is refreshing. I think it'll be like, I remember many Thanksgivings where it's been like really cold and rainy. So I think tomorrow a little sunny, which will be nice. Maybe enjoy some outdoor activities as well. But yeah, the players that I'm thankful for. Okay. I don't want to make it too easy. Like, it's so easy for me to be like Patrick Mahomes. Like, obviously, I'm super grateful for Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so I would say Rashee Rice. I feel like he's a bright spot, especially in what's his ceiling is just so high in years to come. We've got a guy that is on a rookie contract. I think he's only going to continue to get better. So Rashee Rice. Special teams, I mean, it's got to be Harrison Butker, right? Like, the guy's perfect through 10 games. So he's amazing. And I want him to be our kicker forever. And then defense, George Karlaftis. Man, I'm just such a big George Karlaftis fan. Obviously, if you follow me on any social media, then you know that
I've been high on him from the jump.
From the very beginning. Before the season started, I thought he was going to have 10 sacks, and here he is at 7, I think. So he's well on his way. So I definitely am thankful for George Karlaftis. I'm thankful that we picked him last year and that he's continued to get better. And again, another young guy on a rookie contract that we're going to have for a couple more years. And he's just going to keep getting better. So that's it for me. What do you got? Let's hear it.
I never thought about this in advance, so I'm going off the cuff like you. But for offense, I'm gonna go Isaiah Pacheco. You went with Rashee, and by the way, sneak peek, we're probably giving away a signed Rashee Rice HBTC helmet through Chiefs bids this weekend, which is gonna be fire. I picked it up not that long ago, signed it, wrote HBTC. It's fuego. I can't keep it, and I'm depressed about it, but it's fine. So I'm gonna go with Pacheco. You know, I'm skipping like the obvious. I'm skipping Kelsey and Mahomes. We're always thankful for those guys, right? I'm going to go with Pacheco. He's 10th in the NFL in not receiving yards, in rushing yards, which I thought was pretty cool. He's got just over 600, I believe. He's definitely on pace for roughly 1,000. Very close to that. And then even, like, they didn't win last week against the Eagles, obviously, but he averaged 4.7 yards per carry. And it was like, I don't even know, off the top of my head, 16, 18 carries for like 89 yards. And they did a really good job running against the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. And so I'm gonna go with Pacheco, and just for his energy and morale that he brings to the team. On defense, I'm going to go, there's a lot of ways I could go. I could go Chris Jones, I could go Snead, I could go Trent McDuffie. Like, Trent McDuffie probably makes sense, but I'm going to go with Drew Tranquill. I think he's the offseason signing of all offseason signings for the Chiefs this past season. Nick Bolton has been injured most of the year, and Drew Tranquill has not only stepped in, but he's stepped up and helped, make this defense part of what it is, one of the best defenses in the NFL. Again, they didn't win on Monday. I think I said Sunday, but they didn't win on Monday against the Eagles, but he had an incredible stop on 3rd down on a dump pass. It was either a screen pass or a dump off pass to Swift. Tranquill tackled him and probably prevented, for sure, at least the first down and maybe a very big chunk gain. And that was just one play of several that Drew Tranquill made. And then obviously Trent is awesome, dude. So he's balling out. He had himself a game. And then special teams, I'm going to go with Kadarius Toney, because if it's not Butker, you could probably pick Townsend, but I'm just going to go with Toney because he stepped in with an injured McColl last game and had some crazy punt returns. He didn't break any, take any to the house or anything like that. But man, he is electric with the ball in his hands. And I had trouble calling the punt returns live on my live play-by-play because it's impossible to describe what Toney is doing. I'm like, he's going left, juking right, spinning. I don't even know what he's doing. He's snaking up his body moves so unnaturally that it's really hard to like call it out. But I'm gonna give it to Tony, even though, it's probably should go to Townsend, because without Townsend and his punts, yes, but his clutch holds, Butker probably isn't having the perfect season either. It's a trinity, 3-in-1 tandem with the long snapper and Winchester, placeholder and Townsend, and then kicker and Butker. So there we go. That's what I'm thankful for on the Chiefs. And then for Thanksgiving tomorrow, real quick, me and my fam are having some fam up here. My grandma lives real close, so we're utilizing 2 kitchens and cooking it up, drinking some Boulevard, and watching some freaking football. We could talk about that really quick if you want before we move on. Just sure. Thanksgiving football games, and then we'll move on to the Chiefs and Eagles game. Thanksgiving games. Since we're on the theme of Thanksgiving, I was like, we'll just keep it here for a second. I'm gonna share my screen so we can just look at it real quick here.
All right.
So you've got the day starts with Packers and Lions. I'm probably gonna guess that the Lions win that game. I am gonna watch it kind of intently as I can because we're playing the Packers soon. So definitely want to take a look at that. Then Commanders, Cowboys. I would assume the Cowboys win, but I'm gonna root for EB all the way with the Commanders. Sure. And then 49ers, Seahawks. I don't know that I care who wins that game. Probably the Niners, but that should be an interesting one. What are your thoughts on these 3 games?
I think you're right with the first game. I think the Lions should win that. It looks like it's at home for the Lions, so that's obviously helpful for them. I like watching the Lions. I think they do. I mean, obviously, let's forget about the time they beat us this season, but I like Dan Campbell. I like what they do, so that'll be a fun one to watch. Like you said, EB, I'm pulling for the Commanders. The Cowboys are interesting. I feel like they lose games they shouldn't quite a bit, so I could see them lose that game. And then I'm actually going to pull for the Seahawks, I think, over the Niners. Nothing against the Niners, really. I like the Geno Smith thing that they got going. I'm a big fan of his. So anytime I can root for him, I don't know. Good question, actually. Was he who?
I thought I saw somewhere. I thought he was dealing with an injury. I could be wrong. Yeah, Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith elbow questionable for Thanksgiving night. So we will see. If Geno ain't playing, I doubt they win.
Yeah.
But you never know. Who's the backup? Drew Lock? I think is it still Drew Lock? I don't even know, but he was traded over there. So
and I wish
Dean, real quick, Dean Bishop said, I bet Tony is killer at dodgeball. Bro, he would never lose a game.
He's like Gumby. The way I don't know if he has any joints. Like, it just feels very like Gumby-esque.
Well, and then on top of that, he's a former QB. He could chuck the ball. So anyway, sorry, what were you saying about the Seahawks?
I don't know. I don't know if Geno's not playing, then I think it'll be tough for them to win. But I understand that it's typically at least the Cowboys and Lions who play. I do wish there was an AFC game tomorrow.
I know. It's 3 of them is NFC. Like, oh. But Friday, though, first ever Black Friday game is it would have been a banger, dude, if
I know
Aaron Rodgers was healthy. Dude, this would have been a banger game, but it's going to be it's not even Zach Wilson. I don't remember Tim. I don't even know. I don't know who it is, dude. Who is it? It's not Zach Wilson. Is it Tim Boyle?
I feel like that's right. Yeah.
And against Tua. Tua turned the ball over. Tua Tagovailoa.
My mom's watching the show.
Oh,
my mom's watching the show, and she just goes, "It's Drew Lock." She just sent me a text. She goes, "It's Drew Lock." So
let's go.
Shout out, Mom, for giving us the back.
I thought it was, but I don't follow a lot of NFC teams nearly as close as AFC. So I was like, I think it's Drew Lock. He got traded over there. Drew Lock, a local kid here, Lee Summit area. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins winning this game.
I would agree with you.
Hey, I'll give you $5 if you can pronounce Tua's full name.
Tua.
Do you know it?
Yeah. Like his middle name too? Just his last name?
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Do you know his middle name?
No, but it took me like 6 months to get to Tagovailoa or whatever.
Hey, look at his middle name.
It's not Donnie. I think I can pronounce it.
All right, I'll give you $5 if you can pronounce his name. Go for it.
Okay. Tua Nijamanualopala Tangavailoa. Okay, Tua Nijamanualopala Tangavailoa.
And the
I think
reason
you just have
why,
to say it. You have to practice it.
well, I'm
Tua
horrified to say it.
Nijamanualopala.
I'm horrified to really try to pronounce it because of the next couple syllables after Tua. Like I ain't trying to get
Yeah.
canceled, so
No, I saw
not doing that. I just call him Tua. But his middle name, Tua, what Tua full name Donnie. They just threw Donnie in there, man. Like,
Is
it's
it a
the
family?
best.
Do we think Donnie's a family name? Maybe that
I
they were
don't
like, we
know.
got to throw Donnie in.
Yo,
Here's the thing
we
about
going
this.
way off course though. I'll tell you that.
I know.
Go ahead.
Blame the toddy. I feel like the thing about this Dolphins Jets game, this like Black Friday game, is like whenever they announced they were doing it, I was like, who's gonna watch a Black Friday game? This is so crazy. And then like here I am, so excited to watch more football on Friday. Like the NFL owns me. Like they really do. So I'm excited. More football. How can that be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I'm working Friday, so I don't really know if I'm going to be able to watch it. It's kind of a weird. The holidays are weird, just in this sense. The Chiefs don't really slow down. They have a game Sunday, but I'm like forcing myself to take tomorrow off, obviously, because it's the holiday. But none of the demands for the rest of the week slow down. I still got a sponsored ad on Friday, a full video, and all kinds of stuff going on there. But I am grateful for the time to spend it with the fam, but it's going to be weird because I'm going to be a day behind, but then there's going to be a game on during Friday. I might just stream during it, just call the game, just say screw work. Just kidding.
There you go.
But that'll be no. If it was Aaron Rodgers, maybe. Let's not spend a lot of time here just because it's already 8:20 and there's a lot to cover. But let's talk real quick. Chiefs Eagles. Give me your thoughts. On that game. Everybody's heard my thoughts. Gateway with the 5 said, despite an embarrassing loss to the Eagles, the Chiefs will be the AFC champs again and will win another Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. Dude, I love the mindset.
Mm-hmm. I like the positivity. We need that right now. I feel like...
What the heck is this? Real quick, Sean Peterson. Greg and I got selected to do a meet and greet photo op and autograph with Trent McDuffie at Arrowhead during our tour. Really pumped. We will have to pay, but fire. Yo, first off, thanks for the 5 gifted in the 10, but that is freaking incredible, dude. Love it.
Sean, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. That'll be super fun. We're excited for you.
Yeah, let's go back real quick. Trey McDuffie was a highlight of that game. There's a bright spot.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah, he was.
Absolutely everywhere. I feel like there was one play where Swift got away, and all of a sudden you see Trent McDuffie come from like nowhere and tackle him. I don't know. The first half was really, there was a moment in the first half where we were just rolling and I was like, if we play like that, like, there's no team that can beat us. It felt very like we were just very complete. We had, I think at this point, it was like we had 14 points on the board. I was like, this is amazing. Like, no, there's no team that can beat us. And then the second half happens and I don't really know. I was very much in disbelief most of the second half with the drops. And there was a part of me in the fourth quarter that then started thinking like, I don't believe that this team can get a first down. And I know that this team's not going to score a touchdown here. And it's such a crazy feeling because last year there was no time where we were down that I ever felt like we were out of the game. I always felt like no matter if we were down 3 points or we were down 10 points, that we could come back and win. And that's what history has shown us with this Patrick Mahomes team. But this is a very different team, and they are not equipped to play from behind. There were 2 really bad turnovers. There were drop passes all over. That's obviously a given. But when your 2 best players, your leaders of the offense, make mistakes, they have to be perfect because of the team, the offense that's around them. They have to be perfect. There's no room for error on their part. So the pick that Pat threw in the end zone, like you can't do that. And obviously those mistakes happen, but the one mistake he had, like you can't do that because you don't have the supporting cast around you to make up for it. Kelsey fumbling, obviously it was a great defensive play. The guy he knocked the ball out. I forget who it was, but again, he has to be perfect. He also had a drop pass later on. He had a penalty that was rough. So the penalties were a problem. The drop passes, I feel like Mahomes was off with the receivers all night. I think that's a chemistry thing. I think receivers aren't running their routes correctly. It was kind of a mess. And then I feel like some of the coaching decisions were definitely in question. I mean, there was a time in the game where we punted on the Eagles 39, and I feel like we got to give our defense a little bit more of a break. They were gassed. We were doing 3 and outs, punt, 3 and out. Like, we got to give our defense time to calm down a little bit, get recouped, because they had a hell of a game. But when they're out there, when they're being asked to do so much, I mean, the fact that that the Eagles only scored 21 points, I still think is miraculous because of how much they were on the field. The defense was on the field in the second half. So it's frustrating. I was definitely grumpy yesterday and feeling like the sky is falling, like many Chiefs fans were. Another night's rest, I'm feeling a little more clear-headed in the sense of like, okay, we're still 7-3. Like, we're still atop the AFC. I know the Ravens are there, but they've technically not had a bye yet. So really, if we can win against the Raiders, it's going to be fine, but it's frustrating. So long-winded way to say I'm frustrated.
Yeah. I mean, keeping perspective, if we're just going to go glass half full, I mean, because we all know the negative stuff that hopefully they can figure out, some of it I don't know if they're going to be able to figure it out. I don't know if they're going to be able to figure out fully the wide receiver rapport with Mahomes, eliminate all the drops. I will say this, though. If you could fix what is more easily fixable, which would be Mahomes throwing a turnover in the red zone and Kelsey fumbling in the red zone, the Chiefs probably more than likely win that game. So even if you just fix those and not even necessarily completely solve all the wide receiver room issues, I think because the Chiefs defense is good enough, I mean, they're elite, you could probably get the job done most of the way through. Now, I will say this, to keep perspective, we had some Eagles fans in here trolling around and this and that. Think about this. The Eagles are probably the best team in the NFL, if not top 2, top 3. I mean, most power rankings have them best team, number 1 in the NFL. They have the best record in the NFL, number 1 for sure seed in the NFC. And the Chiefs lost by 4, still had a chance to potentially win that game, on the final drive with all those turnovers, the miscues, the embarrassing 5 3 and outs, 0 points in the second half. The second half possessions was something like punt, fumble, punt, turnover on downs or something like that. Even with that, they had a chance at the end of the game to still potentially win it, which I kind of wish I do wish they did, but I wish they scored at the end because I predicted 24-21 Chiefs and it was 17-21 at the time. I was about to win $1 million. Just kidding. I didn't put any money down, but yeah. You were like what, 20-23 or 21-17?
No, I said 21-17, but which was the final score, to be fair. It just didn't go our way. It just didn't go our way. Yeah, I jinxed it, guys. It's all my fault.
Did you see the video of Prick Sirianni yelling at Chiefs fans after the game?
I 1000% did, because at first I thought it was like a weird edited video. I was like, there's no way this is happening. There's no way this guy is shouting at the fans. It's a little surprising.
Here, let's just play this video and we'll be right back.
Eagles head coach Dick Sirianni was seen taunting Chiefs fans after the Eagles won on Monday Night Football, and it's far from the first time he's acted like a 14-year-old child. Stuff like this is nothing new for the 42-year-old quote-unquote grown adult / leader head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. From yelling "how about them Eagles" after beating the Cowboys, taunting Colts fans on the sideline because the Colts fired Frank Wright for sucking at his job, screaming and cursing at other head coaches during games, cussing at refs because he knows what the F he's doing, and the list goes on. Even Jalen Hurts had to tell Prick Sirianni to quit with the childish antics during Super Bowl 57. I mean, I get it to some extent. He lost to KC in the Super Bowl and really wanted this regular season championship win because he worked for the Chiefs from 2009 to 2012 as their water boy before Andy Reid came into town and told him to please leave so they can actually start winning games. He then went on to coach for the Chargers and had to deal with KC beating them twice almost every single year, then again recently lost to his father in the Super Bowl, so he's still working through the years of trauma.
All right, so that's to catch y'all up on what's going on. I think I was just mostly shocked. Again, there's like comments. I posted that as a short. It's going crazy right now. A lot of Eagles fans saying I'm mad. Literally not mad. You can watch all my videos. Not mad about the loss. Definitely disappointed. A lot of self-inflicted wounds. I think I'm just mostly surprised that a head coach, the leader of an organization, is going to not just in the Chiefs game, but just repeatedly act like, I don't know, a player. I mean, act like Kadarius Toney on social. I mean, act like a drunk fan in the stands. Like, he's literally the leader of the team, sets the precedent of the, the atmosphere and the whole vibe of the team. And he's acting like just a complete asshat. And I understand, like, he beat his father. Like, he beat his biological father in a game. He wanted the regular season championship win really bad. But I'm just like, dude, you are a freaking douche canoe, man. Like, I wanted to make fun of him that he was really short, but he's actually my height, so I couldn't go there because he was acting like he's 4'11", like just in the way he presents himself and his demeanor. And honestly, the only people that like that guy are Eagles fans. I mean, nobody else likes that guy. Why the hell would you like that guy?
I'm just thinking, like, what if it was Andy Reid doing something like that? Like, obviously, Andy's not, like, he's definitely a little more poised than that, but people would lose it.
Andy
like,
Reid would
this
never.
is absolutely... He would never. This is absolutely unacceptable, the way that he's reacting to, obviously, congratulations, you won. Good job. And I know that it was like your
game.
Super Bowl because we beat you in the Super Bowl. And yeah, it was definitely felt like a bigger game for the Eagles. But that is not how you respond. And then to hear that he's done it on multiple occasions is incredibly surprising. I can't even believe. And then the fact that you're young. How old is Jalen Hurts? 24, 25? He's pretty young.
Something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. But for him to be the one that's like, hey, man, calm down, to a guy who's almost like 20 years older than he is absolutely comical. Absolutely comical. It makes me wonder what he's like behind closed doors, like with the team.
To be in a non-biased manner, I think he's a good coach. So I'm not saying he's obviously a good coach. Look at their record. Look at what they've been able to do. They do have a pretty stacked roster, which is helpful. And I think Jalen Hurts just finally got his deal done and the big heavy cap hits hidden or have not hit yet, like the Chiefs. Like, everybody's like, I mean, just freaking wait, dude. Just wait. All these teams, Chargers, Bengals, all these teams that just got their QB deals done within the past couple of years, because the cap hits are coming, dog. And Mahomes is at a $40 million cap hit right now. And you'll understand where, the corners you're going to have to cut in order to keep a quarterback like that. But I think he's a good coach. He just seems like an interesting guy. To yell at fans like that, it's not the first time he's done it. And just his antics and how he acts on the field is pretty pompous. And that's the only annoying thing. But again, I actually don't have an issue with the Eagles. I like the Eagles. I like Jason Kelce. I think they have a lot of great players. But the head coach, I'll pass. I'm going to pass on that.
Definitely a guy who wears his emotions on his sleeve, which there's nothing wrong with. But we saw him get visibly emotional before the Super Bowl. And then, of course, he got visibly excited after this game. So
yeah. And any Eagles fans in here, I'm not really bitter or upset or anything about the loss. I think I've talked about it pretty clearly. The Chiefs have mistakes and issues they need to work through, but at the end of the day, the Eagles got the W. So, and one thing you haven't heard me do is cry about the refs or the officiating. Like, I don't do that. I'm a grown man. I don't do that here on this channel. But I don't complain about officiating and tie it to why a team lost. I've complained about officiating on shorts before, but it's been like games that the Chiefs have won or one particular play. Like when Mahomes got his ankle retweaked, it was because a ref flagged Jawan Taylor, so I was frustrated about that. But I never blame that on a loss. There's multiple plays in a game where you can get the W. It's not just one play, even though there were some interesting calls in this game, both sides. Some were missed, some were called that were like, what? Even on both sides. With all that being said, GG's to the Eagles. They got it done. They're a great team, and the Chiefs lost to arguably the best team by 4 points while sputtering completely on offense once again in the second half. Kylie, I hope they get it figured out, because this is the third game in a row, 0 points scored. Mm-hmm. The Chiefs are literally the worst offense in the entire NFL in the second half. They averaged 5.3 points per game in the second half, 17.2 points per game in the first half. Nobody has scored less points than the Chiefs over the last 4 weeks. The Chiefs have scored 0 points in the second half in the last 4 weeks, but one of those weeks, to be fair, was a bye week. But still, you've got some really horrible teams scoring more than the Chiefs in the second half because it's everybody. I'm talking Cardinals, Panthers. Pick a horrible team that you probably, I won't go where I was going. Maybe Tank 7's hitting. But like, just think of any horrible team, and they're doing better than the Chiefs in the second half, at least on offense, which is crazy to think about with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid over there. It's wild. So hopefully they get it figured out. Feel free to weigh in, Kylie, and then we're going to transition after that to Travis Kelce eating alone.
I don't know. It's so surprising. The last thing I expected was for us to go scoreless 3 games in a row in the second half, and that's where we are. And you think it's a bad game. You think, they'll get back on track. It's a get-right game. I hear a lot of people talking about how the Raiders game coming up is a get-right game. I got to see it. And I don't understand how we can come out and look so great in the first half, and then, or like a guy like Rashee Rice is doing really well, and then he doesn't see the ball again the rest of the game. I think obviously we saw Isaiah Pacheco had a great game. I felt like they did a great job of running the ball more and having a more balanced attack, but I feel like we don't see enough of Tony. We saw more of him, but I know that they're still reserving him a little bit as the season progresses. But I just feel like they're going away from things that we know that work, and then we're stalling. And then there was another play where we ran. I think the first 2 downs we ran, and then it was like 3rd and 1, and we threw it, and it made no sense. So it's a lot of this play calling that's frustrating. I feel like obviously execution's a problem. I hope they can get it figured out. We're in week 10 now, or 11 and
12.
12. Thank you.
I think
it's the Cotties. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, and it's just like, this is, at some point you have to accept that this is the identity that we have. And like I said earlier, Mahomes and Kelce have to find ways to be perfect, because other guys are going to make mistakes, and we got to be able to be better than those mistakes. It's tough. I don't know. You heard Travis Kelce talk about it today, and I've heard him talk about it the last couple games. So I'm optimistic. I want to believe that they're focused and that they know what they need to do, but we got to see it.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting to hear Patrick Mahomes talk in his post-game presser, and then Travis Kelce talk later. There was a couple people for sure on Twitter, Chiefs Twitter, that shared like a couple like small clips of Kelce talking about apologizing and stuff like that. But if you listen to the whole thing, the vibe I get from both Kelce and Mahomes is everybody in there is not pointing fingers. They know that they need to be better, and they're all like, there's not division or any dissension in that place. They all know it. They're owning it, and they're trying to be better, and whether that will or will not happen, I don't know, but they all know it, and they're all working really hard to correct those mistakes. They don't want to shit the bed. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, they don't want to be that team in the second half, especially, so they're definitely owning it. And I just hope it translates here sometime sooner than later. Even if it takes till the postseason, it's okay, fine, whatever. Let's hit another run and go. But the Broncos aren't that far behind the Chiefs in the AFC West right now, and they have 1 win. It's 1-1 for what it's worth. But dude, the Broncos are on like a 4-game win streak. The Chiefs can't really afford to play around here. Like, I need the Broncos to lose a game or 2 here in a second, and then the Chiefs just to get a little bit more ahead. Because I'm over here like, dude, the Broncos are 5-5, Chiefs are 7-3. I'm over here like, okay. I mean,
wait,
I
who
will
do
say
the Broncos
this.
have?
I don't even know off the top of my head. But I will say this. I thought the Chiefs might split with the Broncos this year, and then I did have the Broncos finishing 3rd in the West, Raiders 4th. I did not see the Chargers at 4-6 right now. So we'll just kind of see. But with that being said, let's get into this. Let's talk Chiefs Raiders and kind of go there. I just think I would be pretty freaking surprised if the Chiefs lose this game. And it's not because they can't lose this game. It's not because the Raiders can't rally. they've won a couple of their games since the new coach is here, or the new interim coach has stepped up since they fired McDumdum, and then the GM is gone, and then they benched Carr. So AOC, Aiden O'Connell, is there. But dude, like, I watched their last game, and O'Connell did not really impress me. Let's talk this side of the ball first, Kylie, and then let's go from there. But if you look, this is not professional graphics. This is a screenshot from my notes. But look at the Chiefs offense and look at the Raiders defense. The Raiders defense bottom third in almost everything. 21st in yards per game allowed, 22nd in passing yards allowed, 27th in rushing yards allowed. Key right there, in my opinion. 27th in rushing yards allowed, and the Chiefs need to run the freaking ball down their throat. 26th in allowing third down conversions, 25th in the red zone. You flip sides of the ball here. Before I do, look at the top line of the Raiders defense, though. This is probably the key in my, I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. They're well below bottom half in everything except for points per game allowed. They've only allowed 20.5 points per game, which is 13th in the NFL. And the Chiefs, meanwhile, only average 22.5 points per game. They're 14th in the NFL. They're 8th in yards per game, 6th in passing yards, 15th in rushing yards, 4th on third downs, and they've slinked all the way down to 15th, almost middle of the pack in scoring touchdowns in the red zone, which if you would have told me last year that the Chiefs would be, middle of the pack almost in points per game and in scoring touchdowns in the red zone, I probably would have laughed in your face and not bought you a beer. No, I'm joking, but it's so unbelievable to me, coming off the Super Bowl win. But here we are. So with that being said, what are your thoughts? Chiefs offense, Raiders defense.
I think you kind of you alluded to it, but we're going to have to run the ball. Obviously, that's a weakness that they have is allowing those rushing yards per game. So use Isaiah Pacheco. Even I've not been the biggest Clyde advocate, but last week he did show a little something. So
a little bit.
If we feel like Pacheco's losing some steam, then go ahead and put Isaiah Pacheco out there. Also, where's McKinnon? I'm going to need to see more McKinnon. But I just think if we have an established rushing attack that we can be dominant. I also feel like that red zone is going to be we've got to figure out a way to score touchdowns. We have to figure out a way.
Don't turn it over.
You can't turn it over. You've got to have good ball control, ball security. And stop with the cute shit. Sorry, excuse my language, but stop with the cute,
I already said
the cute stuff on the third and shorts. You got to have a little bit. What was it? Like I said earlier, with the punt in the last game, he punted on the Eagles 39. I just feel like we're going to have to take a little bit more risk in this game because, again, the defense is doing a lot, pulling their weight. We got to figure out a way for this offense to be successful. Also, we're going to have to watch Max Crosby. So this is going to be a big game for our tackles. I think Max Crosby has 8 sacks on the year already, or 10 maybe on the year. He has 10.5 sacks. I actually wrote it down. He has 10.5 sacks on the season already. He had a total of 12 last season. So Max Crosby's definitely a guy to watch. Did not practice. Hold on.
So I was actually gonna bring that up. I was like, speaking of Max Crosby, I'm assuming he's gonna play, but he popped up today as a did not participate at practice due to his knee being listed, and I was trying to find out how bad is that? Because Max Crosby is insane. He plays 95% of snaps on defense, which is almost unheard of. The second player that plays the second most snaps on a D line is almost 10% or something lower than Max Crosby. So we got to keep an eye on this. I would assume he plays, but that's huge there. Because he's a dog. There's two Raiders that I really have a lot of respect for. Max Crosby and then Davante Adams. Don't get me wrong. Davante Adams pissed me off when he pushed the cameraman at Arrowhead, and I probably called him a piece of garbage and other stuff. But from a player standpoint and performance standpoint, those are the two Raiders I respect the most. So I wanted to bring this up really quickly when you were mentioning Max Crosby. Yeah. They got a bunch of other guys limited, but I'm not going to read too much into the first day of practice. Sometimes they have a lot of these, look at here, McCole Hardman, he's probably going to be the only one that doesn't play. He sprained his thumb. So we'll see. He sprained his thumb earlier in the game, and then McKinnon's had this groin issue for a while. So since you brought up McKinnon on the offense, we need to monitor this as well. But interesting to note that Donovan Smith popped up with his neck. Sneed's back on there with his knee. I feel like hasn't Sneed been off that for a while with his knee?
I feel like he's been okay lately with his health. So this is a new one for me. I didn't know that he's popped back on there.
Yeah, so that's, I think, newish for Sneed, and then Smith is new. Tony, I thought he was off, but maybe not. He's basically been on the injury report all year. And then Joshua Williams. I'm not going to read into really any of this except for McCole Hardman right now until we get later into the week. But I do want to follow this because no Max Crosby. That's going to be interesting for sure. Yeah. So if the Chiefs can establish a run game a little bit, dude, if they can run like that against the Eagles, the number one run defense in the NFL, I hope they can keep that momentum going into this week, because with the Chiefs passing attack just taking multiple steps back this year for name the reason, it's a lot. Establishing the run game is that much more important in my opinion, so that the second level back there in the defense will start coming down as a respect of they're really going to run down our throat, and they need to respect it to help. Now, I will say this, even if they come down, I don't know if they're going to respect the deep ball. Patrick Mahomes, I heard this from Nate Taylor of The Athletic, on pass plays that have gone for 35 plus air yards from the line of scrimmage this season. Patrick Mahomes throwing 35 plus yards down the field. He's 0 for 9, 3 interceptions. I mean, that's freaking insane to me. So, you know, there's a couple of those that should have been caught. MVS probably should have caught that. That's 1 for 9 and a touchdown. But he's right now 0 for 9, 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on throwing deep balls. So I don't even know if defenses are going to respect the deep ball anyway right now. They have no reason to.
No, none at all. None at all. And another thing to watch too is I just feel like, and obviously if Max Crosby's not playing, this will be a little bit different. I do think he'll play, however.
Probably plays, yeah.
We gotta the penalties, the holding penalties. We gotta cut it out. It's just easy stuff, man. It's fundamentals. It's easy stuff. You can't do that. I mean, I think Kelsey had one last game, a little uncharacteristic for him, and those are gimmies. Because when we can line up and we're a 1st and 10, a 2nd and 10, whatever it is, I feel like we find success because we run the ball. But when we have a penalty and it takes us further back, we abandon the run, and that's when we struggle. So no penalties.
Please. No, I agree. And speaking of penalties, let's talk Chiefs defense. And it's not because they have a lot of penalties, but I will say this: L'Jarius Sneed is really good. He's clamped like every other team's wide receiver 1 all season long, but he is also the most penalized cornerback in the NFL with 13. I'll probably settle for illegal hands to the face and all that for a 5-yard penalty with Sneed. Based on the fact he's basically been able to hold like everybody. Like he held A.J. Brown to 1 catch for 8 yards. He's held Amon-Ra St. Brown down. He's held Tyreek Hill. Like anybody you could think of, he's pretty much held them down. And believe this or not, considering that, he's given up 0 touchdowns on the season, which is absolutely incredible. Much respect to the Chiefs defense, man. I never thought this would be a defense first team. Not this year. I knew they were going to be better, but I think we never saw, I didn't see them being top. Look at the stats here. Top 5 in almost every defensive category. 3rd in points allowed. They average 16.4 points allowed. They're 4th in yards per game allowed, 4th in passing yards per game allowed, 18th in rushing yards, which is a bit of a weakness for them. That's no surprise. They are also 3rd in sacks. So it is a positive we didn't talk about. They sacked Jalen Hurts 5 times in the first half, which is freaking crazy. Yeah. Trent McDuffie had 2. Chris Jones had 2 or 3. George. Who had the 3rd? Yeah, George had that last one, or one of those 5 at least. And then, so they're playing really well. One thing to watch for me, look at the red zone touchdown percentage allowed by the Chiefs defense. It's 23rd in the NFL. Part of that issue, in my opinion, is the fact that the Chiefs keep turning the ball over and giving opposing offenses really short fields. It happened with the Broncos. It happened with the Eagles. Maybe it didn't happen with the Eagles, giving them super short fields.
Each of the ends
field. No, it didn't happen with the Eagles as much. But like another thing to think about too, even with the Eagles, like Tommy Townsend had a couple bad punts, and then they had a really good return. The Eagles were up near midfield, like for 2 or 3 possessions. So that's not ideal. But yeah, so we've got to watch out for that, at least on the defensive side of the ball. What are your thoughts, Chiefs defense? And then we can talk Raiders offense for sure. I mean, you can just take it over there to the offensive side of the ball for the Raiders, and then we'll keep going.
Yep, sure. So I'm not super concerned about our defense. They've proven week after week that they're able to contain the opponent and the offense on the other side of the ball. So I personally feel like with the L'Jarius Sneed thing, I think you hear Spag say, he says it's the cost of doing business is a couple of penalties. He's physical. Yeah. He sets the tone. I'm good with it. He's had a phenomenal season. So I'm good with a penalty here or there. I do understand he's the most penalized on the team, but I'm good with it. I think they're going to do a great job of holding down Devontae Adams. Aiden O'Connell threw 3 interceptions last week. I don't know if you mentioned that, but he's obviously a noob. So he's still learning the ropes and trying to figure things out on his own. I think that that's something that our secondary can exploit. And I think that that's going to, I anticipate us having at least 1 interception and possibly a fumble. Josh Jacobs, obviously he had a great season last year. It's not been as stellar this year. So although we do struggle against the run, I think that we can contain Josh Jacobs. I'm really not concerned about our defense going into this game. It's the offense more so. But yeah, what do you think about their offense?
Interesting to note, just real quick, I just wanted to look at the Raiders' last 3 games since they switched QBs and coaching staff. I think it's been 3 weeks now, or it's been really close to, because they fired McDumdum and then they won 2 in a row and they lost, and then they lost to the Dolphins. But this is pretty interesting. Like the Giants, whatever, that's basically playing against like a Lee Summit, and that's no disrespect to Lee Summit High School, but that's like playing against a non-professional team. Honestly, Lee Summit High School might be able to beat the Giants. Don't quote me there, but it might be close. But then the Jets, like, at least you could say this about the Jets. Their defense is the real deal, for what that's worth. They beat the Jets by 4. The Chiefs beat the Jets by maybe that much or less. Then this is interesting to note, just the fact that the Dolphins here only put up 20 points against the Raiders. And I did watch that game, but I was watching it on YouTube TV with like 3 other games. But yeah, interesting that just what you said, Aiden O'Connell threw 3 INTs. I mean, Tua, he was 28 for 39, 325 yards, 2 TDs and an INT. But they still only put up 20 points. Tyreek, 10 catches for 146 yards. Bro, the Chiefs defense is so good. They held Tyreek to 62 yards. I mean, absolutely insane. They clamped the Eagles defense. I mean, I'm not going to go back there, but like, the Chiefs defense is so good, and I'll go back to this screen real quick. Look at this. This is interesting to me. Like, the Raiders' offense, I mean, they are basically bottom in everything. 16.8 points per game, 26th in the league, 29th in yards per game, 23rd in passing yards per game. This is interesting. Kylie, 31st in the NFL in rushing yards per game, and they have one of the best running backs, in my opinion, in the NFL. I mean, at least if you're looking at body of work and how he performed last year. I mean, I did not expect them to be 31st in the NFL in rushing yards. They're 29th on 3rd downs and 24th at scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And look at the Chiefs defense, dude. I mean, it's not, I mean, bro, they held the Eagles to 21, and probably 7 of those points were given up because the Chiefs offense kept soiling their joggers and just having to punt it back, turn it over. Have I used that term on the stream before with you here?
I don't know. That was the first time for me hearing
that.
That
is an Irish term for pooping your pants. But I love the term soiling your joggers. We use it here at the house since I'm Irish, and we carry over a couple Irish traditions, not a lot. But I would be very surprised if the Raiders scored much more than they average per game right now on offense, which is 16, 17 points a game. I would be pretty surprised right now if they scored more than that against the Chiefs. The question is, how many points is the Chiefs going to put up on offense? That's probably the bigger question to me. But again, there are ways the Raiders can win this game. Basically nobody is predicting the Raiders to win. It's a divisional game. You never know what's going to happen. You kind of have to put, and we've talked about this before, Kylie, but you kind of have to put the divisional games sort of in like a side column because it's just not the same. They split with the Broncos. The Chargers, they actually beat in a non-stressful manner this year. They beat by like 31 to, what was the score of Chiefs-Chargers? Do you remember?
I think it was 31-21.
31-17. That was one of the few games that I was like, okay, that was actually not stressful. I did not feel the need to chain smoke after the game, and I don't even smoke. So that was one of the couple games that I was like, all right.
That was like the last stress-free game we've had was the Chargers.
That was October 22nd. That was a freaking month ago.
Yeah, because it's been the Broncos, the Dolphins, and then the Eagles, which have all,
What are your, with all that being said, what are your thoughts score prediction-wise? We were actually both fairly close last game. We were pretty close. We were right there. We're getting the hang of it. 12 weeks in here.
We're getting it. I'm kind of scared because last week I predicted the right score, but it was for the wrong teams. So I don't want to jinx this again. But
then flip it. Predict a Chiefs loss by 14.
No, because I don't think.
Yeah, because it'll flip. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, not that I haven't predicted a Chiefs loss before. I have no problem thinking that the Chiefs will lose when I think they will actually lose. I don't think that's the case this week. I think that we can still, like, if history will tell us anything the last few weeks, we can definitely score in the first half. So based off of what we were just looking, well, I think even if we could get 14, 17 points in the first half, I think we can contain the Raiders to at least maybe 7, no more than 14, based off of all the stats we were just looking at, the fact that they are last in almost everything offensively. If the Chiefs could score more, I would definitely say, like 31-10, something like that. But I gotta see them score more than 20 before I start giving them that credit. So I'm going to say 17-10 Chiefs.
Wow. That's a freaking low-scoring game. I'm scared.
Well, when was the last time we scored more than 20? The Chargers game.
It's been a little while. It's probably, watch it be more spot on than we really think.
Oh,
I mean,
the Dolphins, I guess. Dolphins, we scored 21, but that was a defensive touchdown. So,
yeah, 14 on offense in that game. This is what I got going. I have the Chiefs scoring 24, which is just slightly above their average of 22.5 points per game right now. Hey, if they get 30 and they get an extra score in there, I would be much more happy with that. But I have Chiefs winning 24-14. I don't know why I said 14, but 24-14, 10-point game. Would love for it to be more than that. I see the chat. Some are saying 31-14 Chiefs, 24-10, 24-14. Hey, Dominic, me and Dominic match there. 38-14 Chiefs. Hey, if this is one of those Bears games, they run the table, they blow it out, great. I need them to show me again. They need to remind me that they can do that. And against a divisional opponent, when we were talking about this, the Broncos defense struggled in the secondary, and they couldn't score in the red zone. The Chiefs were freaking 1 for 8 or something stupid in the red zone in 2 games against the Broncos. They put up 9 and then they put up 18 or 19. It was all field goals and then maybe 1 touchdown or something in those 2 games. I just need them to show me again. And the reason why I need them to show me a little bit here is just because the Raiders, they got something to fight for now. McDumdum's gone. The GM's gone. They probably don't hate Jimmy G, but he's on the bench. They're riding with the new guy. And I think the Chiefs are definitely going to win this game. I just need the offense to just come out and just show us again that they can put up, more than 14, 17, 21 points on offense, and they can score points in the second half. 3 games in a row, 0 points in the second half. 5.3 points per game average in the second half. They need to show me otherwise.
My face. I don't care for that stat. I think that we could see a defensive touchdown in this game.
I'm with it.
Like a pick six, a scoop and score.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a way, obviously, for us to get more than 21 points. I could see these 38-10, maybe a pick six and a scoop and score, guys. I don't know. Getting crazy. But it makes me feel a lot more comfortable when our defense scores a touchdown and we go up at least one more score.
Yep, for sure. So hopefully, Kylie, next time we chat, the Chiefs will be 8-3. And it'll look a little bit better in the AFC West. We need the Broncos to lose too. Do we know who the Broncos are playing?
I looked. They play the Browns.
Oh, dude, the Browns can win that game.
Yes, they can.
I never thought I'd say I'm a Browns fan this year, but I guess for 3 hours I'm gonna be a Browns fan. Even though they don't have Watson, he's out. But yeah. So real quick, guys. PJ Walker. I think.
Walker. Yeah.
Real quick, guys. In about 5 minutes, we're going to give away this signed Isaiah Pacheco helmet. Let me solo myself again. We're going to give this away in 5 minutes. If you want a chance to win a signed Isaiah Pacheco helmet, you need to go to this video. It's pinned to the top of the stream. You need to go to this video. How bad are the Chiefs wide receivers actually? With this thumbnail, how bad is it? You need to comment on the video, hashtag catch the ball. In honor of the Chiefs receivers not being able to catch the ball. Hashtag catch the ball. Comment it in there. I'm going to load the random comment picker, and we're going to do the giveaway at roughly 9:06, 9:07. And while we're doing that, Kylie, I will pin a couple comments, or we'll look at a couple comments here, a couple super chats that we normally do at the end. We already talked about Sean getting to meet Trent McDuffie, which is awesome. Gateway with
Very
his. Cool. Chief KT said, or actually Sean with another 5-bomb. Appreciate you, man. He said, we have lost a coin toss each of the last 3 games. We need to be better, but I think we do better starting the ball at the second half. So there's that. You can weigh in on that if you want. Well, I'm going to start loading this.
I mean, I think, Sean, obviously I would like to see us start with the ball in the second half, but I also think we need that momentum in the first half to get going because those opening drives have looked really good lately. That's been one of the bright spots to our offense has been those opening drives. So I think our defense is so strong that it doesn't really bother me to start with our defense out on there in the second half. But I mean, it looks like it's better luck for us to maybe get the ball in the second half if we win that coin flip. So who knows?
Here's the next one for you. Why does Kelsey look uninterested? I guess the question would be, do you agree with that? And then what are your thoughts on this comment? Thanks for the 2-bomb, Chief KT, and the 5, Sean. Appreciate you, brother.
I want to tread lightly here because I absolutely believe that you can have a love life outside of football and a social life outside of football. I don't think that that's the problem in one bit, but it does feel like his focus is slightly off. So I don't know if that's he also seems a little more I don't know, hostile for lack of a better word. He seems a little more in the other team's face than I've seen him in the past, but
he's old and grumpy.
I think and maybe that's what it is. He's getting grumpy.
I'll say this,
in his
Kylie,
older
old,
age.
grumpy, not really old, I'm trolling, but he's playing 85-90% of offensive snaps and he's 34 years old. They're working the hell out of him.
It's amazing. They are, because he's, reliable. That's what you need out there. Although I do wish we could see more Noah Gray. I feel like there's opportunity there for Noah Gray. Not that I don't want to see Kelsey, but I just, maybe a 12-13 personnel, get a little bit 2 tight end sets out there. Happy Thanksgiving.
Before we do this, Kylie, and I'm going to, what?
I was going to say, we didn't talk about Travis eating alone. Did we say that?
Yeah, we could do that right now. Look at this. Travis Kelce said he was going to be eating alone for Thanksgiving. And part of me is like, bro, why don't you go to Mahomes' house or go to one of the homies' house? I don't know. He said he was going to be eating KFC, and dude, KFC said, Travis Kelce, you belong with us. Bro, imagine he gets a KFC sponsorship out of this. Like, I would just be happy for him. And please do a commercial of him fake eating on Thanksgiving by himself in KFC, because that would be absolutely fantastic.
Just he and the Colonel yucking it up, eating chicken together. Colonel
FLDB said he already did go to Mahomes' house. They did the dinner last weekend. Okay.
Oh yeah, they had Friendsgiving. They had Friendsgiving.
I have no idea what's going on here, but it's definitely like a cat with a mushroom on its head with a bunch of KFC. I have no idea what's going on there. But real quick,
all right,
just so you guys know, this is the YouTube video. It's this video. Same link. Chiefs wide receivers, how good are they actually? And the answer to that is not good. They are third or fourth worst in the league at creating separation, which is actually insane. But we filtered out duplicate comments, and then we're filtering out the comment by #catchtheball. I am going to refresh it one more time and just make sure everybody's got their comments in, because we about to run it. 83 comments, so there was 4 more that got in. And then I don't want to forget this, Cobra Kai with the 13 months. Appreciate that. This didn't pop up on my stream comment picker, but said, "Happy Thanksgiving, Kylie and Cole and everyone in the Chiefs family. What's everyone's thoughts on the Nick Sirianni tunnel video? Wow, good timing you're showing the video." Oh, okay, cool. So he saw it in real time. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dick Sirianni is an interesting individual. We'll just leave it at that. But let's do this. Let's do this comment picker, and let's grab the winner for the Isaiah Pacheco helmet. Ready? Kylie, you get to do the honors. Count this bad boy down. Then I'll hit start.
3, 2, 1, start.
Run it.
Ooh.
Eric Lugaro.
Let's go.
Eric.
Congratulations.
Let's go, dude. He's been in chat quite a bit, too. He's one of the OGs on the channel. Where are you at, Eric? I'm just going to screenshot that so we remember. But Eric, you need to DM me on Twitter, Instagram, or on Discord if you're on Discord. Eric said, wow. Wow. Let's go, dude.
Eric, this is amazing.
Man.
I'm so happy for you.
He said Baltimore. Great. Okay, you live in Baltimore? That's fine. You live in the States. Easy to ship it there. You live in Baltimore? Man, you don't like the Ravens? Actually, they're doing really well this year. Shout out to the Ravens. Well, let's go, man. Eric, congrats on winning this signed Isaiah Pacheco helmet. I'll probably ship it out like early next week, but just let me know or one of the mods know, Eric. He said no. Why did he say Baltimore? I don't know. I'm confused. But let me know where you can message me, Eric. If you can message me on Discord, Instagram, or where, just let me know. Let one of the mods know so they can tell me congrats on that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great, happy, and safe Thanksgiving. If you're going to drink, please don't drive. I know that sounds very redundant. We've been hearing that since we were kids, but like, just don't do it. There's going to be a lot of families out and about, a lot of people traveling. Just be safe. That's the most scary thing to me is like, there's a couple people in my hometown growing up that died wrecking their cars under the influence. And yeah, that's scary stuff. So just be careful. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be watching football and drinking Boulevard, but I ain't driving. Not doing it. Before we get out of here, Kylie, did you say what you're eating? Like, what is like you said where you're going. Did you say your main dish? You just doing turkey? Like all the basics?
Oh, no, there's a big ham involved. There's a big ham involved. Yeah, we got ham and turkey. I don't know how you feel about this. I'm actually prefer ham over turkey. Like
I think I like ham better, but I like ham better, but we do turkey for Thanksgiving and we do ham for Christmas.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's somewhat common. Yeah, not everyone does ham on Thanksgiving, but yeah, we're doing ham. I'm a big fan of mashed potatoes. Like, what a comfort food, right? Like, I just love a big heaping plate of mashed potatoes, and I'm taking an Oreo pie. And no bake cookies. So I'm taking some. We are taking desserts, I should say. I'm going to be doing the baking, but we're taking it as a couple.
Are your in-laws in Kansas City or Springfield area?
Springfield area.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Yeah. So they're like just outside of Springfield. So not too far of a drive for us. Yeah, but stay safe. What's your favorite like Thanksgiving treat or dish?
I'm going to settle this debate in a 30-second poll, ham or turkey. I prefer ham. I don't know why. I just like it. Turkey's not bad, so don't get me wrong. I like turkey, especially when it's cooked right. But I just like ham. I don't know why. But what was your question? What anything special that we're doing?
Yeah, anything special you're doing, or any certain like side dish or part of the meal you're really excited for?
I'm kind of one of those guys. I'll kind of look at everything and take like a small sample of almost everything, and so we'll do it all. But we are doing like pumpkin pie and turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Do you call it stuffing or dressing? What do you call it?
Stuffing. I'm a stuffing girl. Yeah.
I think dressing is a little bit different, actually. But I think.
Yeah. I think it depends on like the house you're at. Yeah, stuffing or dressing is like a gravy, I think.
All right, dog. Let's just put it this way: I'm the whitest guy you'll probably ever meet, and when it comes to food, especially for Thanksgiving, I don't really know. Turkey, mashed potatoes, and the freaking microwave stovetop stuffing. I mean, that's kind of where we go. So, but I'm gonna take it all.
Cool.
I'm gonna take it all, eat it all, watch football, drink beer.
It's a great day. It's a great day to be grateful and appreciate those around you.
Heck yeah. Well, you guys be safe out there.
I finished my drink. So
hey, me too.
So cheers. We did it.
Cheers to the empty glasses, I guess. Everybody be safe out there. Find something you're grateful for. Look tomorrow at the glass half full instead of half empty. And I'll be back Friday to some extent. I'll definitely drop a video. If I can go live Friday night, if I can make it happen, I will. But we'll definitely be streaming during the Chiefs-Raiders game. I think it's like a 3:30 game, 3:30, somewhere around there. So we'll see you guys then. And Kylie, hopefully we chat next week after a Chiefs dub. Appreciate y'all. And until next time, let's go.
Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?